I got the earplugs in my ears because the EG is so dang loud. My ears were ringing after some test pulls for Mikey for some data logging. I'm so excited. I am gonna be on track later today. Please help me get to 60K subs. Please subscribe. I've been at 50K for too dang long, boys. Help me get to this milestone. Thank you.
What everybody says.
I'm Boosted John, and I spent the last 3 videos getting my 10-second drag car ready to be a NA VTEC track screamer. And in today's video, I'm finally putting it to the test because we're gonna be taking it to an event called West Michigan Honda Meet at Gingerman Raceway with the goal of breaking a 149.7 to beat my friend Jose from Rudd's Racing. Jose has a DA Integra with an LS engine with cams and a very short gear ratio transmission. Jose is also on RT660s, so he's got a little bit less power than me, but he also probably is a very similar weight, and Jose has probably 5 to 10 more track days under his belt than I do. This is really only my second track weekend, track day event ever that I'm counting as a real track day, and it's my first time ever driving this car on a road course. Does the car have a 149.7 in it? Yes, absolutely. Do I have a 149.7 in me? That is what we are going to find out this weekend at West Michigan Honda Meet. Session number 1 of Honda Meet this year was an awesome warm-up. Came out strong, and I spotted a yellow speck in the distance. Right away, I recognized that it was a FK8 Civic Type R, and I set my goal for this session to catch the Type R and give it the gap. Obviously, I'm still going for the goal of the 149.7, but I also would be really happy if I was able to take down this Type R. Unfortunately, the Type R got the point buy from the EG earlier than I did, and then I was already in 4th gear when I got the point buy, so it took me a long time to pass the EG, but I quickly caught up to the Type R and was right on its tail after turn 5 and 6. He pulled away from me on the straight after turn 6, but then I was right back up on his tail after turn 10, and he finally gave me the point by and slowed down the straight, as he should. Yes, this car is definitely way faster in the straights than mine, but I was clearly catching him in the corners, so he owed me the point by. The very next lap after being slowed down by this Porsche was my first hot lap, and I ended up with a pretty respectable time, in my opinion, of a 151.0, and that is my first session out with this car. The very next lap, however, the car started showing me issues. You can see coming through turn 6, I'm on throttle, but the car completely cuts power. And it upset the suspension, so I enter a slide. I had to counter steer, kept the car going straight, but after that happened, I knew that the cutting issue was going to be a massive problem, so I decided to exit the track and play it safe. That was fun. Car was so fun. I started doing this thing where it like breaks up. I don't know exactly what it's doing, but it just like cuts like this. And it kind of does it once it gets hot. I don't know if it's a fuel thing or what. That was fun. Dude, this car is so loud. It's so hilarious. Almost lost her there on that one. But that was, man, that was like a clincher butthole moment, but it was good. I caught it. That session started off really strong, but towards the 10-minute mark, the car started to show some signs that I was probably going to run into some major issues this weekend. First session out with the EG. This is Friday of Honda Meet. Honda Meet is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First session out with the EG drag car on the track. Car didn't break, but it is having an issue. Once the car gets kind of hot, it just starts like fuel cutting or something. Like I'll just be going, like foot mad the whole time. And it started doing that after about 10 minutes. So I got the hood open, I got the hatch open. I don't know if it's like fuel pump overheating, fuel pump wiring. I don't know if it's distributor, I'm not sure. So I got everything in the car opened up right now, and I'm going back out in I think 10 minutes or so. Hopefully it cools off enough by then. Also, I'm here camping with Mark from Valix Racing and all the guys from Rudd's Racing are here as well. Should be a really fun event. Honda Meet, all Hondas, people just having a good time. Well, it's not all Hondas, mostly Hondas. People just having fun, and very excited to be here. ITR, followed by an S2K, followed by Honda Fit, followed by another Integra, followed by 2 Miatas. This is the coolest event. Mark's out there right now in the advanced group. I'm in the intermediate group. Got some friends in the intermediate group. We got Vern from Rudd's Racing. We got, I think JR from Rudd's Racing is also in that group. Mark from Valix here in the FG2. Session 2, here we go. Lowered the tire pressures. Session 2 was also really fun for about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna cut right to it here. During my best lap of session 2, the car cut going through turns 8 and 9, which are extremely high speed turns. Again, unloading the suspension and causing the car to slide, which was very scary for me, being pretty new to driving on the track and having the car lose grip at such a high speed. Thankfully, I caught it and I pretty much immediately exited the track after the next lap because it just kept getting worse. About 10 minutes on that one too. That was fun, but yeah, the car is cutting. It gets too hot in about 10 minutes. I'm okay with that. I wish I was getting a full 20, but I'm okay with 10. Session 2 down. Car felt a little bit more planted. I lowered the tire pressure a little bit. It still had the cutting issue, and it got so bad that it lasted about 10 minutes, and it got so bad that as I was pulling off the track and coming to park over here, the car just shut off. When I went to cycle the key just to like hear the fuel pump prime, it kind of sounded like thunk. Like it sounded like there was like air in the system or something, or I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know how that's possible. I get about 10 minutes of track time. I'm cool with that. Probably best so I don't break the car. I drove it here. Feeling a little bit more comfortable with turn 10. The entrance is scary, but the exit on turn 10 is nice. You have a lot of track coming out wide. Turn 5 and 6 is challenging for me still. I don't exactly know where to enter 5 to line myself up right for 6. 8 and 9. I'm finding myself like lifting there, which I really shouldn't because it upsets the suspension of the car, and then I started sliding on 1, as you guys saw. So I'm trying to stay in it and kind of just grab myself by the balls there and keep it going. But so far so good. Car's technically still alive, so no major complaints. I might go out like kind of late to the next session. That way I can catch like the second half of it. That way I can actually get a cool down lap. But I'm having fun. Just as I was about to go back out on track for my 3rd session on Friday night, Mark from 16 Motorsports or Valix Racing noticed a small like puddle of oil, not even a puddle, but just a small stain on the ground under my engine. We quickly found that my valve cover gasket was leaking. That's unsafe for other people driving on the track. If I'm leaking oil, even if it's a small amount, it could cause a spin out. It could cause someone to go off track. So I need to address that immediately. Now the stars aligned this weekend, and you guys will see what I'm talking about soon, but Mark happened to have brought a few OEM Honda B-Series valve cover gaskets with him to the track. So thank you to Mark. I got straight to work. And I think this little rubber piece is stopping the valve cover gasket from sealing all the way. Yeah, that for sure is the cause of my oil leak right there. Okay, that's out of the way. Get this surface cleaned up. Mark said that he's got a brand new B-Series valve cover gasket. He's out on track right now with the advanced group. So I'm just chilling here eating a tomato on this bench by turn 2, waiting for Mark to come off track, whenever that is. Come on, give me something cool. All right, here's Marlo. Marlo giving him the jab, dude. There's Mark. Right behind Ducky. All buttoned up, all back together with a brand new OEM B-Series valve cover gasket thanks to Mark from Valix 16 Motorsports. Got everything pretty much cleaned up. Going to get back out there and see how it does. I guess this is technically session number 4, but it's my 3rd. I missed the 3rd session while fixing valve cover. My GoPro died. During the 3rd session, the cutting was way worse. It started happening maybe after 5 minutes of track driving. I was able to gap an S2000 though. That was pretty cool, but I did exit the track early, and once I pulled off track, once again, Mark saw a leak from under my car, but this time it was much worse. 3rd session for me went okay. I think it was my strongest session. I think I did pretty well during that session. I don't think I got on camera, but I almost caught up to a Mustang GT350. That would have been something really cool. So far I've gapped to FK8, as you guys have seen. Gapped a couple of other Civics and Miatas and stuff, but that GT350 would have been sick. Car just started leaking coolant heavily from the IACV. Down there, kind of hard to see, but it's that hose clamp back there that's out of focus. That clamp right there, it started leaking from that hose, so I just pulled it off, cut the hose a little shorter, put the clamp back on, and let's get the intake back on. And she's good to go. Now, I don't have any coolant with me right now, so I think I'm probably done for the day, unfortunately. I think there's one more intermediate session that's supposed to go out, but Advance is out right now. That's day one. God, that was freaking awesome. That was so fun. Shout out Kearney for the tahini. I'll run low on this olive oil. Steaks. Got another one in the pan right here. Gotta put a fried egg on top. Mark gave me the idea, since I don't have coolant, to just go drive up by, they have like a hose over there, and I'll just put hose water in my car for now, I guess. Engine's only staying in for a little bit longer anyway, so it doesn't really matter if the cooling system gets some, you know, minerals and contaminants inside of it. Black cherry. Dinner is 2 ribeye steaks and a fried egg. Oh dude, it was so good. It was so good. I love cooking when camping at the track. Day 2, we are off to a little bit of a rough start today. Yesterday was rough too, but today we are off to even more of a rough start. Mikey and I are working on trying to figure out this cutting issue, and we don't really have like a sound answer yet as to what is causing it. Could it just be ECU? Maybe, I don't know. Could it be map sensor? Could it be fuel? There's so many different variables here that it could be, and we don't really have enough information to gauge it, I don't think. Also, my turbo manifold cracked all the way around, so that tube, that runner, is like completely de-welded from the collector. Also, some of my header nuts are backing off. That one's backing off. That one's gone. The EG's having a rough time today, boys. Thank goodness I brought NA header with me. I'm gonna go ahead and just slap the thing on, run open header. And then Mikey is currently looking at logs, trying to get some ideas. Working on your car while listening to race cars rip around the racetrack and have fun is one of the worst feelings in the world. So I'm getting pretty frustrated and tensions are pretty high. While I was swapping the header over, I had an idea about this whole cutting issue. From the beginning, my gut was telling me that it was the fuel pump. For no particular reason other than I just felt like it was the fuel pump. I finally thought of a way to test it. I actually suction cupped my GoPro to the valve cover of the engine, took the hood off, and pointed the GoPro at the fuel pressure gauge. That way, if it was the fuel pump, I should see fuel pressure drop when the car cuts. So I took it for a quick test drive down the street. Sure enough, the car cut, and sure enough, fuel pressure dropped. By now it's almost noon on Saturday, so almost half the day of racing is already gone, but I finally have a diagnosis, which means that I can start to fix the issue. I work pretty quick, so I set out to start finding the parts that I needed, and after asking around for only a minute or two, I found out that Rudd's Racing brought an extra Walbro 255 fuel pump with them to the track, which is not the same pump that I have in the car, but it will work. I just am gonna have to get a little bit creative with installing it. The cutting issue has gotten way worse. My fuel pump is out of the car. DJ from Rudd's Racing thankfully had a Walbro 255. This is a Walbro 450, so my tune might be a little bit off, but I have everything I need to install this in the car. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, take it out for a couple test drives, and see if it still cuts. Really praying it doesn't cut. It's not the main relay because the ECU stays on the whole time, not cutting. So I got some work to do. That's what I came up with. I put the Walbro 255 in, And I just got some spade connectors on the end of the wires because I don't have a harness here. I'm just going to I put some heat shrink on here so that they don't contact the two pins and spark or something. Boom, done. That's my new fuel pump assembly. Let's go drop it in the car, hook up the lines, and see if it works.
Yeah.
Test out this new fuel pump, Wellbro 255, replacing the Wellbro 450 that was previously in the car. I'm hungry, I'm dehydrated. I think we fixed it.
Yeah?
I think it was a fuel pump the whole time.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, DJ had a Wellbro 255 and I just threw it in and good to go.
Awesome, man.
So, I hope at least. I just drove it around for like 25 minutes and it seemed fine, so.
Good shit, brother. Good
hell
shit.
Yeah. Finally, I get my first session out on Saturday, and I'm so excited to see how the car feels without any cutting issues because I've been battling that all weekend. The car should be totally buttoned up, totally dialed, and ready to turn some actual laps without having any issues and slowing me down. So I'm going for my best lap time of the weekend, but I'm also kind of feeling out the car at the same time. Gapped a few cars and managed to run a 150.23. I'm getting so close to that goal of 149.7. And I'm very excited to go back out for the next session. All right, I would say that was a success. This car is so loud, it hurts my ear. I need to wear earplugs on the next session, oh my God. That was dope. I don't think the car had any weird issues. There was like one time coming into turn 6 that it did something kind of weird. But I think that might have just been my driving error that caused it. I'm pretty happy with this car after that session. That was freaking dope. All right. God, my ears hurt so bad. That session went so good. I didn't have any issues during that session whatsoever, and I just got to finally beat on the car, rip VTEC, hit redline, and take the corners a little bit harder and start to progress into the braking zones a little bit further. Guys, that session went awesome. The car had no weird electrical, mechanical issues at all. Car had no issues. Is it running a little bit rich right now for an NA setup? Yes. Mikey has advised me we're all good. Like, rich is safe. It's not rich enough where it's gonna hurt anything. And if it's running good and the engine's safe, that's all that I care about because I have to drive this car home. With that said, I am going back out on track at like 5 p.m. So I will have only gotten 2 sessions today, which is kind of a bummer. There is racing tomorrow too, Sunday. Very happy with being able to fix the car and get back out on track, not have that fuel cutting issue anymore. So epic. I forgot to put in earplugs, but here we go. We're behind Jack from Rudd's Racing in their car that they call Bumblebee. I believe it's also a GSR DC2. We got Mikey's dog on the back. Oh yeah, I got something on there.
Yeah, it must have been like some ice cream. Okay.
I'm saving it for later. After my warm-up lap, I was coming into turn 1 and something terrifying happened. And I'm very fortunate that it was not worse than it ended up being, but it was very scary. That's so weird. My throttle got stuck. I hope it keeps rolling. That's really irritating. I popped the hood and immediately noticed this little bead thing got stuck on my throttle cable and was holding my throttle partially open. That was a terrifying experience because I could not slow down on the racetrack. Thank God I made it around safely. Let's go back out for another couple laps.
Ready?
Yep. Thank you. First lap back out, the car started cutting as if it was running out of gas, which makes no sense because I have over half a tank, but I was forced to exit the racetrack, unfortunately. My throttle got stuck, open. Like I was stuck, like basically floored. So I just kept it in third and I rode like 6,000 RPM just through the entire track and I came off. I fixed it, figured it out pretty quick. You guys saw it on the GoPro footage. And then issue number 2, I definitely have enough gas in my tank, but I think that my like fuel sock that I put on the new fuel filter probably fell off into the tank. So it's fuel starving when I'm turning hard. Even though I was battling issues all day with the car, I was able to get the car buttoned up and dialed for my third session of the day and also the last session of the day for intermediate group. And it was intermediate combined, which should be really fun because that's a bunch of cars out on track that are all just trying to gap each other. Intermediate combined? This is intermediate combined, right?
Yes.
Cool.
What happened to your exhaust?
It broke. My turbo manifold cracked.
I got a header?
Yeah, I got a header.
Go.
I entered the track with the car finally buttoned up and ready to do some real racing. I got Andy Diaz right behind me from Rudd's Racing in his DA Integro with a VTEC B series. Almost lost it coming around turn 3, but we caught it, and now he is right on my tail. I know that at the next straightaway, I'm going to give him the point by because his tires are warm, my tires are not, but my plan is that after I point him by, I'm going to be trying everything that I possibly can to catch up to him and try to deliver him the gap. Hit him with that point by, slowed down a little bit for him, and now it's on. Coming out of turn 10, we're both behind a big train of cars. We both get the point by from the red EG hatch. Andy Diaz gets the point by from the Prelude. I didn't execute my point by quick enough. He waited a little bit to point me by, so now I'm quite a bit behind Andy Diaz. I'm coming deep into the braking zone of turn 11 and absolutely sending it through the corner, trying to give it as much throttle as I possibly can on the exit, using as much of the track as possible. Coming down the front main straight, I know this is an area that I'm very strong in, so I'm trying to brake really deep into the braking zone and turn in early so that I can use as much track as possible. Catching up to Andy Diaz a little bit here. Unfortunately, he's a lot faster through turn 2 than I am. I'm not super comfortable with that corner yet, and I don't know exactly how to dissect it. Turn 3, I feel like I got this one pretty good, but I think he might have still been a little bit faster through this corner than me too, because as you can see, the car pushed a little bit and I had to battle a little bit of understeer. Andy and I both get slowed down coming through turn 5, and just cruising through turn 6, I almost lose it. I don't know exactly how this happened, but now I am far behind Andy Diaz. I got some catching up to do. After about a half a lap, I finally caught back up to the train coming through turn 11. The blue EM1 gave me the point by, and now I am gaining on Andy Diaz coming down the front main straight. I think he's being slowed down by a CRX though, which played to my advantage because I was really able to close the gap coming into the braking zone for turn 1. Again, turn 2, he's a little bit quicker than I am, but he is once again behind the CRX, so that's slowing him down. I'm able to catch up a little bit. The CRX does not give me the point by on this turn because I'm too far behind the CRX. Turn 3, trying to just get as close to the CRX as I possibly can, so he'll give me the point by on the next straight. Hopefully I'll get it. And he did not give me the point by, unfortunately. So now we are stuck behind the CRX through at least 5 and 6 and hoping for the point by coming into 7. I'm right on the CRX's tail coming through turn 6 and he gives me the point by. That means it's just an open track and room for Andy Diaz and I to battle it out. I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to catch him on this lap because it feels like we're coming towards the end of the session. After another half lap, I'm coming up on turn 1 and I really closed the gap on Andy here. I feel like I've moved pretty quick and cut a lot of time here. Right behind him coming through turn 2. He's quicker here, but we both almost lose it, and there's an S2000 off track, so there must have been something slick on the surface of the track, and unfortunately, you can see the corner work here on the right is waving a black flag. That means everyone must exit the track right now. So our battle was cut short. Unfortunately, this one goes to Andy Diaz. That was very fun. Well, day 2 of racing has come to an end. The track is now cold, and it started off pretty rough, not gonna lie. That was pretty much a half of a day spent fixing the car, diagnosing a fueling issue. Really happy to have fixed it. And obviously I still had a few other issues with the car after fixing the fueling issue, but everything is sorted out and we are good to go for tomorrow. I didn't film this, but the fuel sock fell off of the fuel pump into the gas tank, and it was fuel starving during that session where my throttle got stuck. So I fixed it just in time for the intermediate combined session, which I'm really happy because that was very fun. I was chasing down a couple of buddies and trying to outrun another buddy. So I'm very, very happy with how this drag car is doing here at Honda Meet, other than braking and being stupid. Track's now cold. I'm gonna get some food, hang out. Hello everybody, welcome to Sunday of Honda Meet. I'm tired. Stayed up way too late last night. I think I was up till like 2:30. Woke up with a little bit of a headache today. Ate some food, drank some water, brushed my teeth, used the restroom, took some Advil, and then hopped in the car for a 9:40 a.m. session. I wasn't able to film it because I don't have anyone here with me to run the camera that I'm filming this on right now. And my GoPro's SD card was full, which was a bummer. But I think I'm getting very, very close to that 149 goal. I think I'm very, very close to being in the 140s right now with this car, which is pretty awesome. As you guys saw, I ran 151 yesterday, I think back to back. Obviously, I'm just going based off of what I can see on the GoPro. I haven't like put into Adobe Premiere and actually timed it out. But I'm very, very happy with how the car is doing now, and I'm very happy with my own learning progress during this weekend. Realistically, this is like my second actual track day event ever. Car blew up at Honda Meet last year. I had my S2000 at Audubon Country Club. It was raining, so I didn't really learn anything other than how to drive in the rain. And I think my first real track day was here at Gingerman with Caleb last year when he drove his Fit all the way up and I had my EK. So I'm super happy to have only had like one real track day under my belt before this weekend, being placed in Intermediate B group here at Honda Meet, and I have not gotten passed yet. I have only been passing people this entire weekend. I gave Andy Diaz a point by because I came out late and my tires were cold, and I was letting him pass because he was obviously going to, with his tires being hot. Our cars are very evenly matched, so I'm super, super happy with how I'm doing and how the car is doing. Definitely like staying humble and knowing that I don't really know anything about how to drive on a racetrack. Oh, people are firing up their Hondas. Looks like we might be going out for our parade lap. You guys saw the video from last year. I did not get to participate in this because my car was broken. This is a giant parade lap. Cool way to kind of end off this weekend of racing. What's up? I feel like I haven't seen you all weekend.
Hey, brother.
How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah, the parade lap isn't anything crazy. Like we're not racing, but it was a really cool moment for me because last year at this event, if you guys will remember, my H2B EK hatch spun a bearing on the second lap of the entire weekend of Honda Meet, and I didn't get to participate in the parade lap last year. I didn't get to really like even be a part of the scene last year. I kind of just hung out, and it was really cool to have converted this car from a 10-second drag car into a track spec car, drive it 3 hours to the racetrack, beat on it for 2 days, fix a bunch of issues, and get to participate in the parade lap. It was just a cool moment of kind of reflecting on all the hard work and seeing it all pay off in real time. And so it might not be that exciting to you to watch me go around the racetrack slowly and just enjoy music and look around and just appreciate the moment, but it was a big deal for me, and I won't ever forget it.
This is so cool, dude. There's so many cars out here. Morning session was super fun. Parade lap was super fun. It was just really cool to be out there with all these Hondas, dude. Now I am about to head out for my second session of the day today, Sunday. Trying to beat Jose from Rudd's Racing with a 149.7. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know what I'm gonna run here, but I'm just gonna try my best, and if I get it, cool. Forgot my earplugs. Right away, I'm stuck behind about 6 or 7 Honda Fits. Well, this is dumb. I'm just gonna go ahead and re-enter the track and see if I can get a little bit more space, because that's no fun. Just sitting behind a train going slow. Just getting a little space. Thank you.
I was wondering if somebody was going to come in from that train.
Yeah, it's so obnoxious.
There you go. Quarter track.
Thank you. The first lap back out is obviously to get the tires warmed back up. Doesn't really count because I have to go all the way back around to start the timer. Here we are coming through turn 11, about to start the first real lap. I'm absolutely ripping, oh my goodness. Just freaking flying to the edge of the track, banging fourth gear as hard as I can, and start the timer.
So we're back out on track after the parade lap, and I took my warm-up lap coming out on track, and then that next lap is my first hot lap. That first lap ended up being a 150.07, so close to a 149. I didn't know that at the time, but I knew it was good. So for my second hot lap, I came out even harder, and I just kept pushing as hard as I could into the braking zones and going deeper and deeper each time.
Full narration for this entire lap. If you want to skip ahead, you can skip to this time code. Anyway, braking super late, downshifting to third on throttle before the apex of turn 1, coming into turn 2 really hot, and I'm trying really hard to come to the outside and then turn back in and hit the really inside apex of turn 2. That seemed to work really well because I'm exiting turn 2 almost on limiter, shifting up to fourth, Coming into turn 3, braking way late at the second braking marker, turning in a little bit early. Car kind of pushed a little bit here, but I'm able to get back on throttle and steer with throttle to get it to calm down. Fully matted, shifting into 4th, coming towards turn 5. Still don't know where to enter turn 5. I can't quite figure it out. I'm just entering really the inside of the apex, and I'm swinging a little bit wide, but not wide enough, and it's taking a long time to dart back in for turn 6. I've lost a lot of time here for sure. Not too good. Coming hot into 7, braking, downshifting, turning in hard, swinging as wide as I possibly can to set myself up for 8 and 9. 8 and 9 is a really high speed area of the track where you just want to be on throttle as hard as you possibly can without losing it. It's really scary though because it's a very high speed section like I said, so any error could cause you to go off track at a very high rate of speed. Coming into turn 10, one of the scarier turns because you can't see the turn from the braking zone, so you got to be on point with your braking, turning at the right time, and I'm on throttle as soon as I possibly can be to push to the outside of the track, use the space, and absolutely gap this FA5. See you later, man. Chop chop. Thank you for the point by. I appreciate it. Coming down the long straight, coming into turn 11, my favorite turn of the entire racetrack. Yes, LS 5th gear, so the car bogs, and I'm going super deep. Downshifting, turning in early, on throttle hard, super fun, and the time is...
Hot lap number 2 was a 1:48.7. I have just beaten Jose by a whole second. I am so proud of the car, and I'm so proud of myself. Jose, you're a beast. I'm sorry, I beat you fair and square. But man, seriously, congrats to you on the 1:49.7. You worked very hard to get that car in there, and it was freaking awesome to see you come off track and just you were so excited, man. Fun battle, and I'm glad that we could kind of have like a little informal competition.
The lap after the one where I ran a 1:48.7, I ended up going even faster, but since I already just narrated an entire lap, I'll just put this entire lap at the very end of the video if you guys want to check it out. It was my best lap of the entire weekend.
And I ended up running a 1:48.2, which, guys, I'm so fired up on that number. 10-second drag car, running 1:48.2 as a Gingerman. Is that fast? No, but for my second time ever being on track, really, I'm pretty proud of that number. All right, here goes. This will be the last session for me for this weekend. Just going out for fun now since I think I hit my goal of 1:49. I think I got Jose.
Came out on track pretty strong here, and because this was the end of the day on Sunday, they were kind of just letting the sessions run long, and they were combined sessions. So I'm out there with intermediate and advanced, all combined at the same time. Gapped an S2000, gapped this BRZ. Now I'm coming down the main front straight here, and I'm just going as hard as I possibly can. It's my last time out on track before I head home for the weekend, so I'm just leaving everything out there on the track. Oh my god, I absolutely sent into turn 1. Super happy with that. Now you guys can't really see this, but at the very end of this straight, already making the right-hand turn for turn 11, is Vern from Rudd's Racing in the pink and white EG Coupe. It's a K20 powered EG Coupe, and I set my goal to catch Vern. Caught up to the C36 super hard in turn 1 because I was just absolutely sending it towards the end of the day on Sunday. Now it's just one car between me and catching up to the K20 powered EG Coupe. Just gotta take down the C36, and then we can battle it out with Vern. Got behind him pretty hard here in turn 3, and he had pretty much no choice here but to give me the point by during the straightaway. So, took that opportunity to go around him and try to close the gap. Turning in hard for turn 7 here, and then I'm flat out in 3rd gear. Gonna straighten the wheel for a second, grab that 4th gear shift. Then I'm gonna be on throttle partially through 8 and 9, and then we're closing the gap on Vern here real quick. Now coming into 10, Vern hits the brakes really hard, and I'm still flat out. I thought I was getting brake checked. K20 powered EG Coupe pulls away the straights. Obviously I've got Vern in the corners, no problem, but in the straights I have no chance of keeping up with the 175 horsepower stock GSR. Quickly close that gap again. Yes, we're running into a little bit of traffic. Coming into turn 11, we're both gonna get the point by. Vern's gonna take the second point by. I choose not to just because I'm too close to the corner. I didn't really want to risk it here. But after coming around turn 2, I get the point by in the straight, and then I'm able to catch back up to Vern.
So I eventually caught up to Vern and we had a few battles and I was trying to get by her, but she refused to give me the point by, of course. I'm new to road course racing, so I don't know like cool guy etiquette of like, okay, if you're battling your friend, you just gap them. So I'm waiting for the point by, never got it. A little bit salty. Vern, I'm calling you out. Next time we're out on track, if you want a rematch, I'd be happy to do it again. No, but in all seriousness, it was a very fun battle. Very cool moment, like I said, because it was like my first time ever battling with a friend out on a track day. With the weekend coming to an end, I packed up the car, hopped on the road, and not 5 minutes into my drive, car broke down. Unfortunately, I didn't film any of it because I was freaking out. My fuel pump just wasn't priming at all, like turned key on, no sound. So I put the Walbro 450 that was initially in the car back in, tried to prime it because I thought maybe the 250 like burnt out or something. Nope, still nothing. So then I took that out. I'm on the side of the street, mind you. Took the 450 back out, put the 255 back in, and then Mark from Valix Racing, 16 Motorsports, stopped by to help me out and give me some pointers and maybe just kind of like use both of our brains. And he recommended just hardwiring the pump straight to the battery, and we did that. And then I drove to AutoZone and I bought an inline fuse just in case there was some kind of issue so that nothing started on fire. And that is how the car sits currently. This is, I don't know if this is in frame or not. I think it is. My hand. Oh yeah. This is an inline fuse hardwired to my battery and it goes straight to the fuel pump. So if I just take this negative battery cable over here and I stick it to this negative terminal, you'll hear the pump prime. So the battery's hooked up, pump's constantly running. Started driving, made it about an hour or two. I'm getting closer to Chicago. I'm on 294 and the car starts running out of gas with a quarter tank left in it. I think when I was swapping fuel pumps around, I might have damaged the fuel sock. And so I think it wasn't able to grab the fuel from the bottom of the tank, or maybe it fell off. I have no idea. Still haven't checked. So I exited the highway and I got as much speed as I could on the exit ramp and the car shut off as I was coming off the exit ramp, and I'm just coasting down the street with as much speed as possible. I think I was going like 65 or 70 miles an hour down the road. I think I was at like 167th Street or 162nd Street. There's like an Amazon fulfillment center like right off 294 over there. Somebody in the comments is probably gonna know what I'm talking about. And I coast down the street and I'm just praying that there's gonna be a gas station that I can at least get close to. And of course there's one on my right hand side. So I got the green turn arrow, I kept it rolling, and I just coasted straight into the gas station. I made it into the gas station literally with the car shut off, like rolled in. Thank God for that. Seriously, thank God for that. I don't think that it was the safest area to run out of gas and need help. So God was looking out for me that day. I said a prayer before I left Gingerman with all the fuel pump issues, or before I left after doing all the fuel pump fixing. And I truly believe that God played a massive role in me getting home safely from that track weekend, from Honda Meet. And I think that, honestly, I think that God played a huge role in just the amount of good times that I had at this track weekend at Honda Meet. So I just want to take a moment to thank God for getting me home safely and giving me such an awesome weekend with friends and good people, a safe weekend of racing. And thank you to everyone that helped me out while at the track to get this thing fixed up so that I could actually race it, particularly Reds Racing and Mark from 16 Motorsports, Valix Racing. That was an insane weekend. Seriously, one of the most fun ever. This has been an extremely long video, I'm sure, but I just wanted to release it all in one go. I think it's kind of fun that way. I haven't touched a car in about a week and a half. This video is coming out like 2 or 3 weeks after Honda Meet. So this car has just been sitting here in the garage ever since I got home. There's a little something behind me that I'm sure you guys have probably been wondering about the entire video if you noticed it. And we're gonna probably, I think, talk about that car in the very next video. I think the very next video is gonna be talking about that car. So that said, life's good, thank God. If you guys feel like checking out my merch store, it's in the link down below at www.earneverything.shop. I just re-added like all of my old merch designs, like pretty much all of them, like even like driveways and jack stands, Boost Bunker, like the OG merch that I made when I had 2,500 subscribers, got re-uploaded onto the website. And a lot of the Old Blood Motor Club stuff. Also, it was brought to my attention that the first couple shirts that people were ordering from Earn Everything store like weren't the nicest quality ever. And I take that very seriously. So I selected a new material. It's made by Comfort Colors, which is apparently really quality. And I think it's gonna be great. Mine are coming in the mail very shortly here. I just finally got them ordered. And I'll show you guys those hopefully in the next video so you can check out the quality. But the materials are definitely on point now. So feel free. If not, all good. Please subscribe. Please like the video. I'm Booster John. We deserve nothing, earn everything. I'll see you guys in the next one.